So you've heard us talk about gums before, but have you ever tried Acacia gum?
Well, today on WTF, we're going to look at Acacia gum and all of its great uses. Hello and welcome to WTF, where we transform food here in the Modernist Pantry Test Kitchen. I'm Chef Scott Guerin.
And I'm Janie Wang, the owner of Modernist Pantry. So today, Scott and we're going to be talking about Acacia gum, also known as gum arabic, and what a cool thickener and emulsifier it can be if you've never used it before. So as you can see, we have a fantastic demo. We're going to go over what it is, and let's take it away.
Sure.
So Scott, what is Acacia gum, and Arabic gum, however we want to call it?
So Acacia gum is the gum of acacia tree. It's a very simple ingredient. It's a really low viscosity thickener, so you can add it to a lot of things if you just want a little bit of a extra mouthfeel to it. It actually has a great range. You can go from anywhere from 1% to 40%, so you don't have to worry about over thickening with acacia gum.
Right. And I think this is like one of those ingredients that technically it's been around forever, but in terms of like coming into the cooking technique world, it's fairly new. So, and I know that there's different types. Like, what are the different types that people have used over the years?
So, the biggest type that you'll see, like if you can Google it or whatever, is you're going to see these little stones. They look like little pieces of amber. And that is not what ours looks like at all. So with those, you would have to soak them, and then you take them, and then you would be able to use it. But ours, you have just some here. It's just like a powder. So you can use it just as any of our other ingredients, and it mixes in very easily. With this one, I find I don't even have to mix with any extra ingredients. Sometimes you have to mix them with sugar just so they disperse easily. This one I'm just going to pour in, and it'll mix in super easy.
Yeah, I think it's because ours is pre-hydrated and most other people's are not, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we do the work for you.
Okay. And I know some people also write in, they'll be like, is this food grade? Is it not food grade? Why do they ask that?
So acacia gum can be used in many different things. Sometimes, cosmetics, glue, whatever it happens to be. So it does have many other uses, but ours is food grade. Ours is made specifically for the use in food rather than all those other uses.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. And like all of our ingredients are all food grade, so no worries on any of them. But someone who's been watching WTF for a while might be like, well, you've already had like quite a few different gums on WTF and quite a few different hydrocolloids. What makes acacia gum different from, let's say, like a xanthan gum or a locust bean gum?
So like I said before, just the ability to thicken slightly without having to worry about over thickening. Xanthan gum, which we actually did a full episode on, the link is in the description below. If you add too much, you're gonna get an off texture. It's almost like mucousy. It's not as pleasant. So you have to be really careful about this. Acacia gum, you can add, like I said, up to 40% of the total weight of your recipe, and it's just going to thicken naturally, evenly, consistently, rather than giving it that weird kind of texture. Okay,
so definitely I think maybe a bit of an easier product to work with, a little bit more leeway in terms of...
I like to say forgiving.
Exactly.
It's nice forgiving, if you, I accidentally added too much or I mismeasured, it's not going to completely ruin your recipe.
Yeah, and does this product have to be heated?
No, this does not have to be heated. As we're going to see today, we're making some sodas, and it's really good to just put it in there, you blend it up, pour it through a strainer, and it's thickened within seconds.
Okay, well, you just segued yourself into your demo, so let's take it away.
I've done a few of these episodes. So very simply, I'm going to put all of my ingredients in here. We're going to make a sweet potato soda.
Awesome.
So we made 3 different types of sodas, kind of a more on the savory side sweet potato. It's still sweet because it is a soda. We did a grape soda, which is one of my personal childhood favorites. Thankfully, it doesn't taste like the fake radioactive grape soda from our childhood. And then we did a agua fresca, which is lime and watermelon.
I think that
summertime's getting here. We're getting those nice watermelons, right? So very simply, I'm going to put all of my ingredients in here, and then I'm going to blend it up and pour it through a strainer. And you'll see the nice viscosity that you get from that acacia gum.
Sure.
So very simply, putting them in there, I have some sweet potato and rosemary. Get that savoriness. Brown sugar, because this is the syrup portion of it. So you need a lot of sugar.
It's a generous helping of sugar.
Yes. I have my water. We actually did an Instagram video of this, so if you check our Instagram, you'll be able to see it. I have some malic acid.
And what's the malic acid for?
So when you have soda, you always have that acidity that kind of counterbalances the sweetness of it. That way it's not just so sweet. And it also brings out some extra flavor. So we actually also have salt here, which you don't necessarily think is in soda, but yes, there is salt because it's going to bring out those flavors of the sweet potato and then everything else. I have black pepper, ground black pepper. Remember, we're going for a little bit savory of a flavor. I have some cinnamon and clove. And it's just a whole clove because we are going to blend it or strain it out. And then my Acacia gum. It's very simple. You can see I can just pour it right in there. And then I'm going to place the top on. And I'm just going to blend for about 30 seconds to a minute on medium-high speed.
Okay.
Okay. So it's as simple as that. Take the top off. I'm just going to pour it through a super bag. I've tried to do it through other sizes of super bags, but I find the 100 micron works the best because you're not going to get any of that kind of sweet potato-y puree that's going to come out.
Or your little clove particles.
Exactly.
And if you haven't checked out the super bag episode, the link is in the description below. It's really cool.
Yep.
You can do a lot of things with super bags. I feel like we use them for almost everything.
So there's a bit of air in this. But once that air kind of filters out, you're going to have this nice crystal clear syrup that we're going to make this beautiful soda out of. So I'm going to let that settle for a little bit. So that's the first part of it. I'll move this off to the side. So you may be wondering, okay, well, why would I add that to a soda, right? So soda generally has those harsh bubbles. Think about when you just have seltzer and it's just these harsh, big bubbles, right? The Acacia gum is going to kind of mellow that bite of the bubbles, those, like the punch you get from them. Sometimes when you get a soda and it makes you cough a little bit, this is going to make it nice and smoother. It has a really great mouthfeel and almost texture to the soda. It's not going to be like clumpy or anything, but it's just like a smooth, really nice mouthfeel.
Yeah. And what did you call it? Was it Gomme?
Yeah, Gomme syrup. So Gomme syrup it's a Gomme.
Okay.
It could just be pronounced gum syrup, but I've always heard it pronounced Gomme syrup. And what that is a simple syrup that has acacia gum added to it. So if you make that and you make your cocktails with it, it'll give your cocktails a little bit more body, right? And that's a very common thing, and it's just the same idea moved over to soda making.
Cool.
So what I did here is I took one part of this is grape soda in here, one part of the grape soda syrup, and then I added 2 parts of water. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 parts water, 1 part syrup. I closed it up and I pumped it with 2 canisters of CO2, which we're actually going to be doing a whipping siphon episode coming up. So
awesome.
Stay tuned, you guys can check it out.
Yay.
Right, so I place it in here, shake it up real well. I always give it like 1 or 2 quick pops to get out any oxygen, and then it's been in there for about a day. It's been chilling. You can do it within an hour though, if you wanted to open it up. But we have it in here, so the carbonation is nice in there. And I'm going to let out the pressure here. So this is going to be loud, so we'll just let it do it. And you don't want to go too hard because you never know if that soda is just going to rock it out. And I always cover it with a nice towel because I don't need grape soda on my ceiling. So simply I'm going to open this up. And we have this. And Janie, you can have some soda.
Sweet.
And also the acacia gum is a surfactant, so it's going to hold on to those bubbles a little bit at the top. It's going to be really beautiful. Right, especially when we pour it. Or just go right ahead.
All right.
And then let's say you don't have a whipping siphon, which I suggest you that you should do it for this because it's really nice, right?
It is, because it's not. You're right about the bubbles when the bubbles go up your nose and all this stuff. This is really smooth, but still super carbonated. It has a really nice texture to it.
Yes, and if you wanted to, you could take just the syrup, pour it into a glass, same 2-to-1 ratio. You could just put seltzer water over it. The only issue is that it's going to dilute that seltzer water, so it's not going to be so carbonated. Like this, you can see is just rolling with bubbles. If, say, you don't like super carbonated soda, you could also do that. Just put the seltzer water right over the syrup itself.
Yeah, and like all these 3 sodas, which of course we've all tested, are so delicious, especially this like the sweet potato. And he said, I was like, all right, this is like a side dish. I mean, what am I eating here? But it's actually super good and really unique. I don't think anyone's ever going to offer you sweet potato soda when you go to a restaurant or a party. So
and it's good to open up the ideas of making something completely different. Still along the lines, it's still a soda. When you drink it, you know you're drinking a soda, but it's different, rounder flavors because it is a more savory soda.
Yes. And if you do want all of today's recipes, the links are in the description below. It'll take you to our blog where you can get all these. And hopefully maybe you'll get inspired to make some sodas of your own, and then just tag us on Instagram and let us know like what exactly you come up with, because I think you can just do anything with it. It's super flexible. So it's great for sodas, and also you mentioned cocktails as well, right?
Yeah, it works great for cocktails. If you just make a normal simple syrup, you can put a very small amount, about 5 to 10% into your simple syrup, and you're going to have an extra like bit of mouthfeel to the soda.
That's awesome. So we're going to go drink. Yeah, so we're going to go drink some more sodas. So from here in the Modernist Pantry Test Kitchen, I'm Janie Wang.
And I'm Scott Guerin. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. And turn that bell on because it notifies you when we drop a new video.
If you like any of today's recipes, go to blog.modernistpantry.com. There you'll find recipes, Ask a Chefs, and tips and tricks, and more.
And if you have a friend who you think would like this video, share it with them.
And to get any of these great ingredients, just go to our website, www.modernistpantry.com.
And until next time, we'll be here in the Test Kitchen, helping you create memorable and magical experiences.